SPACEMAN, directed by Johan Renck, is an adaptation of The Spaceman of Bohemia, originally written by Jaroslav Kalfa, and it's a film which is just released on Netflix. It released the 23rd of February. It stars Adam Sandler, Kerry Mulligan and Paul Dano. Adam Sandler plays a character called Jakob. He is a deep space astronaut on a year-long mission to the outer regions of our galaxy because there is a space cloud there. It randomly appeared 4 years ago in the story, and he must go and take a sample because obviously they're somewhat concerned by this pink, purpley space cloud. Kerry Mulligan plays his wife, very pregnant wife, that he left back home. He is 6 months into the mission. It's a year-long mission, and 6 months she subsequently was pregnant before he left, and now, as the film progresses, she gets very, very close to giving birth. And Paul Dano is the voice of Hanuš, a creature, an arachnid-type creature from the dawn of time, who comes to Adam Sandler's Jakob, drawn to his sadness and his loneliness. Paul Dano does such a magnificent job with his vocal work here. It is... So I did a trailer reaction to this, and I was very excited to watch this film. I like this type of film quite a lot. It's not to sound too sort of, cliche, but it's a high concept sci-fi, an introspective sci-fi. It poses questions and asks stuff of the viewer to go on an emotional journey with the characters. But also, it leaves things open to the imagination. So, is Hanuš real? It's never out and out explained. The film itself doesn't even necessarily fall apart if he isn't real. And we'll touch on that in a minute. And I will say, this, I firmly stand by when I did my trailer reaction that this is a Lovecraftian film. It's the fact that man, as an entity, the human race, is so infinitesimal amongst the stars. You are but a speck of dust and sand to the oblivion of time. And I think that rings very true with this. And a lot of this film hinges on the fact that to acknowledge that, but also seek solace in the absolute almost miracle that it is that you find love within that context of being but a speck of dust in time. It is however many chances, possibilities to interact with the love of your life, per se. So I do stand by the fact that it's a Lovecraftian film. Lovecraft isn't necessarily always just deep sea creatures and horror. Lovecraft is, as a genre, is quite introspective as well. So anyway, let's get to the review. I absolutely adored this film. I loved this film. I love this film very, very much. I thought this was a great film. I don't know whether it has any rewatch value, but as a film, it is solid. It is 1 hour 48 minutes. It has a very good pace structure. Netflix aside, it just has a very good pace structure. For a Netflix film as well, my God. The good editing, because Netflix films do have a trouble with their editors. So it is set predominantly on a spaceship, so we see a lot of Adam Sandler sort of floating around in zero gravity. And it is set obviously on Earth as well. We're telling two stories. We see Lenka's strife for being lonely. We see the spaceman, Jakob's situation for being lonely and the journey that they both go through. Now for Jakob, Hanuš appears before him, a gigantic spider, essentially is what it's described as. Now during the film, it ever so slightly does look like he changes size here and there, but I think that might be a perspective situation. He's about the size of a large dog, so still quite a large spider. And he appears before Adam Sandler's Jakob, drawn to his sadness, his loneliness. He had been studying humans when the ship had obviously flown past him. And something drew Hanuš to the ship, and it was the sadness, it was the loneliness. So Hanuš is going on this journey with Jakob. He's helping Jakob with his loneliness, with his thoughts, with his emotions. Now, obviously the argument is that actually it's a figment of Jakob's imagination. He's not been sleeping properly, the toilet isn't fixed. So he's just conjured this up. He's been taking sleeping tablets, liquid as well, so it is just a figment of his imagination. There's a few things which indicate potentially it's not actually a figment of his imagination, in the respect that Adam Sandler's Jakob, the toilet gets fixed at a certain point in time, so he's getting sleep from that point onwards. That's important to note. And the journey towards the end of the film seemingly does indicate that there's the potential chance that Hanuš is real. Now, it doesn't out and out explain any of this in the film. It doesn't say whether he is or he isn't. And it doesn't matter, because of Jakob's connection with Hanuš is so profound, and it's so well performed by both Paul Dano as well as Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler does an incredible job in this film, that the emotional elements of this film and what transpires, it doesn't matter whether Hanuš is real or not, because that emotion that it instills in the viewer from great performances is real, and it doesn't diminish anything. But there's also some elements in the film which would indicate that it is real. So, not a massive, no huge spoilers, but as Adam Sandler goes through the beginning and the end, seemingly connected through time and space to Lenka, they both experience the same thing at the same time. So, potentially real in that regard. And that's followed up by a phone call, so potentially. But anyway, back to the more sort of technical elements of the film. It's a writing masterpiece. I now want to go and read The Spaceman of Bohemia. I think they did such a great job of the set pieces. The VFX is exceptional. The score was beautifully tragic and haunting, yet impeccable. The direction was great. The cinematography was great. This is a film that could have easily been on the big screen, and I think it would have done reasonably well. I think it would have confused a fair few people, but I think it would have done reasonably well. I think of... I hate to make this comparison, but think of Ad Astra, but really good. The film where Brad Pitt goes on his sort of journey through, I don't know, his issues with his father. It's similar-ish in that vein, but so very, very, very well done. Significantly better. So like a strong recommendation on this. I don't want to say too much more. I don't want to go into too much else. It is a Lovecraftian love story, and it is beautifully tragic. And it is a strong recommendation. So, if you've seen it, let me know what you think. If you haven't, please do go and watch it. Give the video a like and a share. Take care. Bye-bye now.